What's going on, guys? Jason here, back to my channel, and tonight will be a late, as always, a late video and stuff, and yeah, so we have Smackdown and AW Rampage and at the same night, or different time and stuff, and different channels. So yeah, here we go. Alright, we get a cold open live backstage with Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and Jimmy, uh, Uso arriving, and and then Roman Reigns showing up. Reigns asks if Paul Heyman made things right and fix him, like I said the last time he saw him. Heyman says no. Reigns says that's why he's here and walks off. Solo tells Uso, "I'll fix things. I'll fix everything," with a serious look on his face. Alright, fair four-way contract signing. Nick Aldis is in the ring. The SmackDown general manager welcomes us to the official contract signing for the fatal four-way match for the WWE Universal Championship at WWE Royal Rumble 2024, which is next Saturday. Alright, between Roman Reigns, LA Knight, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton. First, he introduces AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, comes out and makes his way in the ring, which has a desk and chairs and carpet like most contract signing settings. He quickly signs the contract. Aldis then introduces LA Knight. The megastar comes out to a huge pop and settles in the ring as well, where he too inks the paper. The Apex Predator is introduced next, and out comes Randy Orton. He eventually makes his way to the ring and signs as well, but takes his time. Finally, Roman Reigns is introduced. The familiar sounds of his badass entrance theme plays, and out comes the wise man Paul Heyman by himself. The fans boo as he stops at the top of the stage. He talks about how he and Roman Reigns just arrived and haven't had time to submit the contract to their lawyers because of this. Reigns will not be signing this contract this evening. Aldis says that's fine. He'll simply make it a triple threat match for the vacant WWE Universal Championship. Man, Nick Aldis is not scared of Roman Reigns. Anyways, Heyman comes to the ring and puts his hand on Aldis' arm. He nervously tells him he respects him. He says he admires him, but slips in how he does a mediocre job like everyone else in the back. He says he looks good doing it, though, even in his rip-off Paul Heyman suits. He says there's no way he can convince the board of directors of this. He also mentions how he can convince this to Roman Reigns, who he calls the shots, and says he should be defending his title in a one-on-one match. LA Knight finally speaks up and tells Heyman to shut the hell up. Finally, Knight says it should be a one-on-one match. It should have been a one-on-one match. He nearly beat Roman Reigns and says he only did because of his cross-eyed cousins. He says this should be his rematch. But a couple of Johnny Come Lately show up, like AJ and Randy. AJ speaks up and he and Knight exchange words. Styles and Knight end up getting physical with the two brawling outside of the ring. Aldis tries to break them up himself, but can't. He calls out security to do so. They do, but only temporarily. Heyman is shown in the ring with a giant smile on his face until Orton grabs him by his tie and says he sees what he's trying to do and it's not working. He says it's not going to work because he's gonna drop Solo and be in the middle of this ring. He says after that he's gonna reintroduce Roman Reigns to the three most dangerous letters in all sports entertainment: RKO. Alright, the first match. The commentators run down the lineup for tonight's, and then we see a live shot of WWE US Champion Logan Paul arriving to the building in the arena. Carlito's theme hits, and out he comes with LWO members Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild, as well as Zelina Vega. They settle in the ring for our opening contest. As they do, we shift gears and head into a quick pre-match commercial break. When we return, we are informed separate freaking rounds will be kicking off next week's WWE Monday Night Raw with an update on the injury he suffered this week against Jinder Mahal. Back live, we see Santos Escobar and Angel Garza and Alberto Carrillo make their way to the ring. The bell sounds and we're officially off and running with our first match of the evening on this week's WWE on Fox Blue brand program. Early on, the heels are doing well. However, the LWO took take over after hitting a big high spot to the floor as we head into a mid-match break. When we return, the heels take over until Carlito finally gets a hot tag and shifts the momentum back into the LWO team's favor. Moments later, Santos helps his team steal the win. So Santos Escobar defeat Angel and the winners are Santos Escobar, Angel, and Umberto. Alright, the second match. Pretty Deadly versus Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. I can't get those two seriously. Pretty Deadly. I can't get them seriously. Okay, backstage, Caleb Braxton is with Pretty Deadly, the duo of Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. Come in and talk about how they're more prepared to be Tyler Bate and Butch tonight than in the past because they don't have to worry about any new teams coming in to screw things up this time. After they wrap up the quick backstage interview, their theme hits inside the arena, and out they come to the ring for our second match of the evening. As they settle into the ring, we head into a quick pre-match commercial break. When we return, Tyler Bate makes his way out. The big strong boy stops and introduces his partner, who is introduced as Pete Dunne, formerly known as Butch. Thank God they changed his name because that Butch was so cringeworthy. Commentators many times throughout the match. Early on, Bate works the match for his team. However, Pretty Deadly used some double team tactics to take over. We head into a mid-match commercial break. When we return, the Bruiserweight finally gets a hot tag. Dunn hits a bunch of high spots and helps take back over for his team. He ultimately finishes this one off with the bitter end for the pinfall victory. So yeah, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne won a match. So that was the second match. Alright, so the KO show with Logan Paul. Our progressive replay of the week is shown. Sorry about this. With a bunch of highlights from recent weeks that shows all of the build-up between Kevin Owens and U.S. champion Logan Paul after it wraps up the theme for Kevin Owens hits, and out comes the prize fighter for our next segment. As the winner of the U.S. title contender tournament heads to the ring, we head to another commercial break. When we return, we see Pretty Deadly complaining backstage about Butch returning as Pete Dunne and how that was unfair. Back in the ring, Owens introduces his guest for the KO show, Logan Paul. With that said, the theme for the reigning United States champion hits, and out he comes to the ring to a ton of boos from the Atlanta crowd. Logan Paul mocks Owens' show for being rinky-dink, and then says Owens is responsible for him ending up in WWE. Owens asks him to explain. He says he brought a clip to explain. The clip airs and shows Owens hitting Logan with a Stone Cold Stunner in his first WrestleMania 3 years ago. Damn, that was for yesterday. Owens gives Paul credit for sticking up around and getting pretty good at this. Paul strokes his U.S. title and says he's right. Owens says as good as he is, he isn't as good as Rey Mysterio or others like him. Paul says he's glad because he's one of one. He's his son's favorite star and his girl's secret crush. They talk more back and forth, and then Owens takes his cast off to prove he doesn't need it. Paul ends up attacking him and stymieing his unprotected broken hand into the post. He smashes it on the steps as well. So yeah, I can't stand him. Yeah, I guess I can't stand Logan Paul at all. Alright, so Roman Reigns scolded the Bloodline. We head into the Bloodline locker room where an unhappy Roman Reigns talk about his favorite four-way situation, and Randy Orton abused the wise man earlier in the night. Solo ends up speaking up and taking the blame for last week and says he's gonna fix it tonight. He walks off and Jimmy Uso falls behind him. We head to another on that a break on that note. So the third match is the undisputed WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Ken Carter and Katana Chance, who are the champions, versus Abba Fire and Isla Dawn. Or Isla Dawn. I don't know. I suck at names. Okay, when we return from the break, the reigning and defending undisputed WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Ken Carter and Katana Chance made their way to the ring. As they settle in the ring, Bailey and Damage Control are introduced. Bailey is on special commentary while the rest of the group stands next to her. The theme for the former undisputed NXT Women's Tag Team Champions hits, and comes Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, whatever. They settle into the ring, and their music dies down. The bell sounds, and we're officially on the way and running with this title tilt. Fire and Dawn immediately charge across the ring and sneak attack Carter and Chance. As soon as the bell rings, Carter is covered but kicks out at the count of 2. We see some more back and forth action, and then we see the keg stand for the chance to retain. After the match, the Kubaki Warriors from Damage Control come to the ring with the champs' titles, belts in their hands. They seem to challenge them for them, and the champs seem to accept. After this, we head to another commercial break. So yeah, excuse me, I'm sorry. The winners are, and still undisputed WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Ken Carter and Katana Chance. Alright, the Final Testament to face off with the Pride. We shoot backstage and we see AJ Styles with the OC members, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and mention they tell him they've got his back tonight. He walks off. After this, we shoot to a video package where the newly formed faction known as the Final Testament appear. Karen Cross responds to comments from earlier in the night from Barbie Lashley and the Street Profits. They end up challenging them to a face-to-face meeting next week. Alright, Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory to run it back next week. Footage is shown of Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory's scary situation from last week. They mentioned how Hayes returned to the ring on Tuesday's NXT, but God damn it, man, is still on the sidelines. Back live, we see Kathy Kelly introduces Hayes. Hayes is asked to talk us through what happened. He mentions how some are built different than others. Austin Theory approaches him with Grayson Waller by his side. After they have some words, Hayes challenges Theory to a match next week. Theory turns it down, but then Waller speaks up and accepts it on his behalf. Hayes says he'll go to Aldous now. Theory tells Waller he has to stop doing that. Alright, the main event. Well, not really, maybe. I'm sorry. LA Knight versus AJ Styles in the arena. The theme for AJ Styles is, and how he comes for next match of the evening. As he does, we head into a match commercial break. When we return, the familiar sounds LA Knight's music hits, and out comes the megastar. The bell sounds, and we're officially off and running with this one. Early on, Knight does well, and the crowd is fully behind him. We head to a mid-match commercial break as Styles starts to take over. When we return, we see all hell start to break loose. Jimmy Uso comes out as a distraction, and Solo hits the ring to take out both Knight and Styles. He gets on the mic and mentions how he's got 2 down in 1 go. His match against Randy Orton is up next. We head to another break with him in the ring. No contest. So that was the third match. So nobody won. Solo Sikoa versus Randy Orton. So here we go. The main event. This is the 4th match. When we return, we see Solo Sikoa standing in the ring awaiting the arrival of his opponent for this our main event of the evening. The commentators point out that SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis is sitting at ringside for this one. The theme for Randy Orton hits, and out comes the Apex Predator to a huge ovation. He sells in the ring, and the bell sounds to get this one officially off and running. Solo starts off strong, but Orton starts to fight back. We head to a mid-match commercial break on that note. As we settle back in from the break, we see Solo still dominating the action when finally Orton starts to hit his big offensive comeback. He hits a draping DDT on Solo off the ropes, and then all hell breaks loose as Jimmy Uso comes back out. LA Knight and AJ Styles run out to make the save, and then Orton hits an RKO on Solo in the ring for the win. After the match, Orton Knight and Styles are alone in the ring. Knight lays out Styles as he's talking trash to him. Orton keeps up behind him. He turns and Orton takes him out with an RKO. Styles stumbles back to his feet and Orton turns and RKOs him as well. Roman Reigns then appears in the ring behind him. Orton takes him out with a Superman punch. Orton, Knight, and Styles are all laid out with Reigns standing tall and smiling. He looks down at SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis at ringside and asks for the contract. He hands it to him. Reigns signs it. After he inked the contract, he goes to hand it back. Back into hands back into Aldis. Aldis reaches it for, Reigns throws it down to be a jerk. Reigns backs into the corner and waits for Orton to get him. When he does, he charges at him, but runs into an RKO from Orton at the crowd explodes. Orton's theme hits, and that's how the swing. So yeah, Randy Orton defeated Solo Sikoa. So yeah, anyways, that was it for this match, pay per view, SmackDown stuff, and yeah, that was it. That was good. It's kind of good tonight and stuff, but the side part was Randy Orton RKO'd Roman Reigns. So yeah, anyways, that was it, and when this video gets uploaded, I'm making another video for AEW Rampage, so that'll be a separate video. So yeah, hope see you guys in the next video, and catch you all later. Laters.